The Supreme Court ruled unanimously to allow a man who lost part of his leg in a trucking crash to sue a major logistics company that hired that truck. The man's attorneys argued that the truck driver had been cited for careless driving in another crash months earlier, and that the broker, C.H. Robinson, should share liability. Last month, CBS News chief investigative correspondent Jim Axelrod spoke to families who lost loved ones in similar crashes, who could also be impacted by this ruling.
This is what Ohio State troopers confronted, responding to a crash outside of Cincinnati the day before Christmas 2022.
Can you hear me?
A tractor trailer heading north on I-75 crossed the median and slammed into two vehicles.
They were texting me throughout their drive saying how close they were, where they were, and then I heard nothing.
Amy Ross had planned to host Christmas for her family that year. In those two cars, her mother Kimberly, a sister Lauren, another sister Karen, and brother-in-law Jeremy Bainey.
And that's when we got in touch with the police, and the police said they're all gone and there was nowhere to go. There was no hospitals to go visit them at. They were just gone.
It's like, this can't be real.
For Jeremy's parents, David and Mary Bainey, the loss was catastrophic. But making it even more painful, their daughter-in-law Karen was 5 months pregnant.
I wish he was here. I wish Karen was here. I wish the baby was born.
The driver of the truck, a Cuban national with a green card, had left Miami 2 days earlier in a truck that police said had a stolen federal registration number.
Empty, where'd you deliver at?
Yeah, I'm delivering Walmart.
A toxicology report showed elevated levels of cocaine and methamphetamines in his system. After the crash, the driver fled back to Cuba.
How does a guy like this end up hauling goods for Walmart?
I don't think that this driver or many others like him end up on the road, but for the broker, turning a blind eye.
I want to welcome in Jim Axelrod now. Jim, the Supreme Court ruling in favor of a man injured in one of these crashes. More than 24 states backing his claim. Trucking, arguably one of the most important industries here in the U.S. What's the impact of this case?
Well, Elizabeth, let's start by talking about these freight brokers. This is at the center of the Supreme Court ruling today. You think of a big box store like Walmart or Target, that they may own and operate their own fleets and move goods through trucks they own and operate. That's not the case, not solely the case. A lot of the trucking needs for these big box companies are conducted by smaller, separate, private companies. How are they matched together? Through middlemen, these freight brokers, companies like C.H. Robinson, this Fortune 500 company at the center of the case today. C.H. Robinson says if there's an accident, they should not be able to be sued for damages. It's the trucking company that's responsible for the drivers they hire or the federal agencies that oversee that, but it's not their responsibility. Today's Supreme Court ruling said, no. People who have been hurt in accidents involving trucks like this can try to collect damages, can sue the middlemen, the freight brokers.
So what is the broker's response to this ruling, C.H. Robinson? What are they saying about all this?
Well, they said in a statement to us that they're disappointed, of course, by the ruling. Their point has always been, look, there are so many federal agencies that are responsible for making sure that whoever is behind the wheel of a truck can operate that truck safely, that doesn't represent or pose any kind of threat or danger. That's the C.H. Robinson position. But again, by a 9-0 ruling today, the Supreme Court disagrees and said, no, these cases can be heard in state courts. And if you think about it, Elizabeth, not too many rulings are 9-0 these days out of the Supreme Court.
Certainly not. Jim, fantastic reporting by the entire CBS News investigative unit and, of course, yourself. Great to be with you.
Thanks for having us.